Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Spot on Sports. Mike Trezza, along with the coach, Mike Gadone, and joined now by former NHL player, Stanley Cup champion, Jake Dowell. Jake, are you with us?
I am.
Hey,
Thanks for having
welcome
me
to
on,
the
guys.
show, Mike Trezza and Mike Gadone. Good to see you, Jake.
Great to see you too.
So, um, when we found out that we were going to have you on, I figured I would, it would be sort of on me to try to learn a little bit more about Huntington's disease because what I realized was that I really didn't know much about it. So, for our listeners and viewers, Jake, who were in a similar position to what I was and don't know much about it, can you talk a little bit about how you're diagnosed with it? How you're sort of how you contract it and what it can do to you to debilitate you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's no surprise that you wouldn't be familiar with it. It's not a very well known disease, and that's part of what we're trying to do here is to raise awareness. And it really is a nasty disease, and it's kind of a combination of a ALS and a dementia. It's kind of it's kind of the worst of all these things put together. It's a hereditary disease where you have a 50-50 chance of inheriting it, and it's one of those that it's I was affected by it with both my brother and my father, and I've lost both of them to it. I do not have it, but we had some long years watching both of them just very immobile. There's not a lot of quality of life, and it slowly just deteriorates your brain, your mind, and your body, and your ability to really function on your own.
And I'm sorry about your brother and your dad, Jake, but what I want to ask you was in doing a little research, it seemed like when you got the good news that you were not a carrier of it was during your Stanley Cup championship year. I'd imagine you were very relieved, of course. But once you get the news that you're not a carrier, is that something that can change, or is that the diagnosis or lack of diagnosis, and it stays permanent that way?
It's absolutely permanent. It's I if there's a Huntington gene from your mom and your dad, and I received my dad's or my mom's. I'm sorry. So that's out of our life, and it really the focus was also on. I was at an age where my wife and I wanted to have kids, and didn't want to bring a child into the world that could potentially have this disease. So to know that we could have children and it would be out of our genes from here on out, and we won't have to worry about it anymore was a huge sigh of relief.
Jake, first of all, I just want to welcome you to the program. Mike Godone here, and thank you so much. And I have the utmost respect for you and what you went through, because I'll just tell you quickly, Huntington's disease actually impacted my family. My mother-in-law's husband was diagnosed with it about 8 years back, and unfortunately he passed away. It has been inherited through the family. So while I don't know exactly what you went through in losing a parent, I certainly watched and went through the loss and just the heartbreak of it. So you have my utmost respect, and certainly my condolences to you for what you went through with your family. And I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing here to try to raise awareness and do it through your profession. Again, just our utmost respect. Maybe could you tell us how it came about to get this game going? And I did a little research on you, and really I wanted to ask you before that, just from your hockey standpoint. You're an American player, came out of high school and went into the national development program, if I have that right. If you could tell us a little bit about how that was for a young guy, and then how you came through to now be putting this game together.
Yeah, I think we can start right from when I was 16. I got an invite to go to Ann Arbor, Michigan, to play on the national development team, and that was one of those where I had played a couple of years of high school hockey, and as much as I loved playing hockey with my buddies, my childhood buddies, it was one of those where it was it was an opportunity if I wanted to take my game to the next level that I had to take. So I lived with a billet family there, and the whole goal at that point, really, for me was to get back to Wisconsin on a scholarship to Wisconsin. So that was my sole focus. NHL really wasn't on the radar yet, but once you are there, you kind of learn a little bit more of that process and the scouts that are around, and it's not necessarily. I feel like they were there to watch me all the time. I think they're there to watch some other higher profile guys. But then that's my time to get seen as well. So one of those where then all of a sudden I did commit to go to Wisconsin, and I got drafted after my freshman year. After I was on a World Junior Championship team where we won in Finland, and then I was drafted to the Blackhawks. But I stayed all 4 years in college. Fortunate enough to win a national championship my junior year, and just wanted one more year of school. Thought I needed a little bit more development, and stayed. I loved it. It was great. I loved college, so it was one of those that it benefited me to stay and kind of mature another year. And then it was on to the Blackhawks. I bounced up and down I played a good chunk of my first year, had some injuries, and then I bounced back and forth from there in the minors, and then I was in Chicago and ended up I played on a number of different teams, bounced around a little bit. That was kind of one of those that it was just kind of part of the gig for me, and I knew it. So I ended up playing about 12 years and retired a couple years ago, and now knowing that I don't have Huntington's and have the ability to, still use this platform and play in games like this. It's really started from the folks over at Huntington's Disease Society of America putting this together, and they've been phenomenal. And it really is it's a great idea, and I'm excited to play in it. I think we've got some great players to watch, and it really should just be fun for an awesome cause.
I would assume probably when you tried to recruit some of your friends or guys to play in the game, that it was an easy thing for them to step up and do such a great cause. Do you anticipate it getting a little chippy out there, or is it going to be a friendly, or are we going to see a little bit of old time hockey as well?
I think you see people still want to. Hey, I don't think everybody there that's playing is played it all the time here, so I don't know how much everybody's playing. So I think no one wants to embarrass themselves either, and with that you get a little bit more focus and not saying it's going to be an all-star game, but you know how that picks up a little bit at the end when guys want to win at the end too. So maybe something similar to that.
Just getting back to your career for a minute, Jake. Chicago is a place that most people don't really think of as a hockey town, but I would guess during that year that you guys made the Stanley Cup in 2010, that it became a really, really crazy hockey town. So tell us what that experience was like playing in Chicago, and what the experience of winning the Stanley Cup in Chicago was like for you.
Yeah, it was. It was when we got there. There had been some tough years getting into there. My first year was also Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves' first year as well. So that with those guys, things just started to turn around, and there's a buzz around town. Teams winning games. I think maybe the second year they won a playoff series. Third year won the cup. So it was a really great group of guys that also a number of those guys that were on that team were playing in the minors together for a couple of years previously. So it was a really, really tight-knit group. There's a lot of young guys that all lived downtown near each other, so they spent a lot of time together. And so that experience was pretty awesome to see. That city was begging for something like that, and they just exploded when there was that first of 3 Stanley Cups. It was to be on those buses and do the parade, and we've got all those pictures that my wife and I still look at once in a while, or they pop up on your phone as memories, and it's pretty cool to see.
While you're talking about the event, Jake, I'm going to ask Michael Anthony, our producer, to put up that little graphic. The event is Saturday, May 14th. It's at the RWJBarnabas Health Center in Newark. What else can you tell us about the event?
Hey, it's just going to be a great event. Canadian team against the American team, and for, like I said, for a great cause. Everybody's excited to play and put on a good show, and I think you're going to see some great hockey. So, really, really excited to be a part of this, and for me to be doing, I like doing any and all fundraisers for Huntington's disease, but for to be a hockey game really hits home, and that's a sense of pride for me, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
What are your goals, Jake, in terms of participation, in terms of monetarily, in terms of amount of dollars raised? And I understand as well that you guys want to make this an annual thing.
Yeah, I think first go around here. I think I don't really know that I have any expectations. That's more for the folks at the HDSA, but I'm just there to. I want to be there for the fans, there for the experience, smile on the face, and I want it to be a great time. It should be a fun game. Bring kids, see some good hockey, and just enjoy yourselves.
For our viewers on the island and also in the city, it is a Saturday night, folks, May 14th. So if you want to make the trek over to Newark, I think you would be home in a reasonable time. You'll see some great hockey. You'll see our buddy Jake. And as Jake says, it's for a terrific cause. Huntington's disease is a disease that, as I told you at the outset, Jake, not many people know all that much about. And it's not just to raise money, it's also to raise awareness of this dreaded disease.
Absolutely, that's our goal, and the more we can spread the word and people know about this and what this is, and also it's one of those diseases like when I explained it earlier, where it's like a Lou Gehrig's and a Parkinson's and Alzheimer's kind of wrapped together. Naturally, if there's a cure for this disease, that's a huge breakthrough for treatments and cures for all these other diseases. So, it's one of those that it really is, one that there's a lot of efforts going into to find a cure, and the more funds and awareness that we can raise is going to speed that process up.
And I don't know if you even know this, Jake, but the guy who's normally our hockey reporter on this show, the guy we call Johnny Sticks, affectionately, John Santa Maria, is going to be your PA announcer that night. So here's what
Awesome.
I want you to do, Jake. If he messes up, I want you to drop the gloves, go over to the mic, and work him over a little bit, all right?
Hey, it's been a while. I could do that for you.
Nah, he's a great guy. I'm sure he'll do a terrific job. And it's an event that we're going to continue, Jake, to promo every show we have between now
Absolutely.
and May 14th because we believe in the cause. We really want to thank you for coming on and being our guest. I don't know how closely, Jake, you follow the league anymore, but maybe you want to give us a prediction about a team that nobody's really expecting big things from this year that you think could make some big noise?
Yeah, I thought you guys were going to maybe ask me something about that. I just, for some reason, I want to see Toronto do it. I like that group. I like that young group of guys. It reminds me of that group in 2010 in Chicago. I love the Avalanche, but that's not a dark horse or a sleeper. Maybe I'd maybe go with a Calgary with Daryl Sutter coaching, and he knows how to motivate those guys. He did it. He was an 8th seed in LA and won a cup, and I think that's a team that could be a sneaker.
That's great. So one more time, it's Saturday. It's May 14th. It's the RWJBarnabas Health Center in Newark. It's to raise money for Huntington's disease awareness and also treatment. I don't know, Jake, right now what the treatments are for this disease. Is there any treatment? Is there any cure?
No, there isn't. There's a lot of trials going on. There's a lot of things going. I think there's been a few that there's been some setbacks and some that were very hopeful disease prevention, but right now they're very close, but there's nothing that I know of.
So,
Well, Jake, we certainly, again, we thank you so much, and you have our respect, and we're going to do all we can to pack the place for you and be there with you. And hopefully this game will be a celebration in a couple of years of major breakthroughs and whatever else, towards the end of this disease and the others that you mentioned. But all the best to your family going forward, and we're looking forward to some great hockey and making this an annual thing, but an annual celebration.
Yes, absolutely. That's I really can't thank you guys enough for having me on and for your help promoting this game, and thank you very much for the kind words. You guys are awesome. So I can't thank you enough.
Our pleasure.
Good luck with the game. Good luck with the event, and of course with the fundraising, Jake. It was our pleasure. Thanks again.